My grandfather passed away, and shortly after we discovered he was a German spy. I always thought my grandfather was just that, a grandfather. A quiet, kind man who smelled like coffee and motor oil. He was a retired mechanic, spent most of his time tending to his garden, and had a weird obsession with trimming his rose bushes like bonsai trees. Every Sunday, he'd take us out for ice cream. Always the same order, vanilla with dark chocolate syrup. He didn't talk much about his past. Whenever we asked what life was like before he moved to the US, he'd just smile and say, "Oh, that was a long time ago." Nothing worth telling. We never questioned it. Because why would we? But everything changed after he died. Last year, shortly after his funeral, my dad and I went to clean out his house. It was mostly what we expected. Old tools, boxes of car parts, faded photo albums. Until we found a small metal trunk, tucked away in the corner of the basement, covered in old blankets and locked with a rusted padlock. It took us nearly an hour to get it open. What we found inside changed everything we thought we knew about him. There was a pistol, wrapped in a black cloth, a European passport, and a notebook filled with scribbles in Russian. The passport had his photo, there was no doubt. But the name was completely different. Not Klaus Meyer, the man we knew. It said, Erich Langerman. We thought maybe it was some kind of old war prop, a relic, something symbolic. But the notebook was full of detailed records, dates, coded names, locations, and the passport? It had real entry stamps from countries like East Germany, Czechoslovakia, the USSR, places that were almost impossible to travel through during the Cold War. At the bottom of the trunk, we found a sealed envelope, addressed to my dad. Inside was a handwritten letter. It said, "There are things I never told you. Not because I didn't trust you, but because it was safer that way. For years I lived two lives. One of them ended when I came to this country. The other is buried with me now. Just know that everything I did for a greater cause." Signed, E.L. We spent weeks researching. With the help of a history professor my cousin knew, we finally uncovered the truth. My grandfather had been a courier for German intelligence during the Cold War. Not exactly James Bond, but still involved. His role was dangerous and precise, transporting classified information between agents across Europe. He used his skills as a mechanic to hide documents in cars, inside tires, behind dashboards, even inside fake fuel tanks. Sometimes he traveled under the guise of a race car mechanic, other times as a tourist. He crossed borders using forged papers, alternate identities, and pure nerve. He was never caught. But some of the files we found included references to the Stasi, the East German secret police. Yeah, that Stasi. My dad was devastated. Not because his father had lied, but because he realized he had never truly known him at all. All those years we thought he was just a quiet man with a green thumb. But there was another side to him, a life full of danger, secrets, codes, and lies. So now we're left with the question, who was he really? The gentle grandfather who made bad jokes and fixed our bikes? Or the shadowy figure in the notebook, writing in code and crossing borders with false documents? Maybe both. But one thing is certain. Those long silences he used to fall into, they weren't from old age, they were the weight of everything he carried and never said. And now I wonder, if someone in your family lived a secret life, would you really want to know? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more stories.